After being locked up for years in a kind of halfway house between the world and total oblivion, what is it like to step foot back into the world again? Does the rush of happiness and relief descend into immediate terror about the future? Or does the happiness plateau as realism sets in? Former inmates have shared their experiences on post-prison life, detailing the euphoric highs and deep lows that come with reacquainting with society. Humbling and glorious, one former prisoner described the experience on Reddit. I got put on a Greyhound bus with other prisoners. Some had been locked up for decades. One guy saw a Segway and flipped the F***CK out, he couldn't believe it. I ate a veggie sandwich from Subway that day. It tasted like freedom. When one man found himself sitting on a seat outside prison in the moments after being released, an old woman came and sat with him. The old lady caught me daydreaming and interrupted by saying, "Would you like to call somebody?" The thought had never crossed my mind a few minutes earlier when she'd mentioned me not having a phone and showing me hers. I wasn't worried about Pat. I knew he'd get there soon enough, and if I only had the chance to make one phone call, I'd preferred to call my mother anyway. "Yes, please, I live in Dallas though. Is that going to be long distance?" "Oh, honey, you've been gone a while, huh? Long distance is free on these things." And with a friendly cackle, she took out her phone again and asked, "Who do you want to call?" "My mother, if that's okay." When handing him an iPhone, she realized he didn't know how to use it. Sure, he had seen them on TV and in magazines, but he'd never held one, and certainly didn't know how to operate one. Before I had gone to jail, phones still had buttons. But this thing was little more than a rectangular piece of glass. Almost immediately, she realized her mistake and held out her hand to take the phone back. "Here, I'll dial it for you." "What's her number?" For the first time in well over 3 years, I was able to talk to my mother without being preempted every 5 minutes by a recording reminding both of us that this call has been placed from a correctional institution. When my mum answered the phone, I was all smiles. "Hey, Mum, hey, son." Just another reminder that I was free. I was on edge the whole time. I went to a restaurant and to a bar with a friend on my first day out, one former prisoner wrote on Reddit. At the restaurant I got so anxious literally felt sick and had to step outside. At the supermarket I walked in, saw all the people and immediately told my mum, no thanks. "I'll wait outside." At the bar we ended up sitting by the door, and every time someone walked in, my head would jerk to see who it was. After a few brews my nerves chilled. Mostly what happens is that either someone picks you up, or the state will give you a bus ticket. They also give you new street clothes and $25, Linda wrote on Quora about her release. The tough part is the readjustment to freedom. Forming or re-establishing relationships is difficult after leaving an institution where you could never trust anyone. Significant time spent in prison can permanently damage your ability to form close ties to others.